Hey, so fam, Amelia Adair here. I hope you're feeling well, doing well. I'm feeling well, I'm doing well, and I'm so excited for this new year. Happy New Year's to you, and we're gonna continue to roll into some beautiful things. All right, it's 2024. We made it, and we're still here, and we're so grateful. And I wanted to let me check this lighting real quick, so fam, you know I gotta make sure we look great as we elevate, right? And so I wanted to come in today and just speak on a great message that was left in my heart. And y'all know we here grow to the max level. What was it? How high can we get? Those are quotes. you know, sis. Okay, how high can we get? All right, on an elevated level, right? As we're elevating our spirit, as we're elevating our mind, as we're opening up our heart, as we're growing our life and becoming better versions of ourselves. That's the elevation we speak about over here in Soul Fam. Okay, Soul Fam, don't get mixed up. Okay, and so Soul Fam, it's so simple sometimes, and because our lives have been very complicated, we often complicate things, and it's normal, you know, like you're not the only one. And so as we are growing in this next season and we're moving to these wonderful chapters and we're enjoying them along the way, because you'll start to see, wow, it's moving pretty fast. Woo. Let me make sure I soak it in. And what we got to understand, Soul Fam, is that we have to make sure we are moving at God's pace, through God's view, right? God's speed, God's view, God's way. Okay? So let me break it down for you real simple, Soul Fam. When you're moving at God's speed, right, and you're praying and you're creating and you're waiting for those blessings to come through and those seeds to grow, right? You're waiting for whatever it is that you're asking for. Oftentimes, so we have to be mindful that things won't move as fast as we want them to move. Okay? We have to remember God don't have a magic wand. I mean, he do, but not the way we see it in movies, right? It's not ba-da-da-da-da-da. It is, but when you think about the reality that we live in, it takes a little bit of time for that to come into play, for us to see, to see those seeds grow. So when we're moving at God's speed, and we don't see things moving, or we don't hear calls, we don't see those incoming calls coming in, we don't see those emails coming in, we don't see those customers coming in, we don't see what it is that we're asking for coming in, and we start getting impatient, and we start, worrying. We stop. Once we start worrying, we stop moving at God's speed, right? We're in a waiting area, and God is in his, wonderful place. And we outside like, God is like, I hear you. You still have to be patient. I hear you. I answered you. Now be patient and wait for that package to come in the mail. Right? And while you're waiting for that package to come in the mail, you are continuing to wait with grace, right? Not waiting and then getting distracted with all the things in the world, right? Not waiting and then while you're waiting for that blessing, you start going back into old ways. No, as you're waiting, you're building stronger connections with the community. Okay, so fam, there are countless amount of opportunities out here. Endless. Right? So if you're sitting around waiting and you're bored and you feel like you've done everything that you can do, the number one thing you can always do in those periods is build a new connection with someone. Right? Simple. You get dressed today, right? You don't have no plans with people that you know, right? And this happens to me all the time. And sometimes I'm just like, I'm not even trying. You get dressed as if you're going to meet someone out, right? You're going to meet one of your friends. You didn't make no plans with the people in your contact list, right? So you're building a new connection. And because you're building a new connection, you're going to go to a place and you're going to just start speaking to a stranger in 2024, so fam. And the goal to speaking to the stranger is just to have a calm conversation, right? Sometimes we meet people, we have a conversation, we feel like we got to just stay with that person for life, okay? This type of connection that you want to build is just having a graceful conversation with a stranger that you don't know, laughing and walking away with calm, that you don't feel like you're losing someone because you didn't get their number, right? So sometimes we think strong connections have to be long connections. Strong connections, so fam, can be a 5-minute conversation. You have a 5-minute conversation with someone that you don't know. So you can see my fingers are just pressed together, right? You guys press together like this for 5 minutes through verbalization. And you speak about what naturally comes to you, right? Y'all laughing, y'all giggling, y'all talking about something positive, right? We're not gossiping. We ain't gonna build that connection. Say that. You sit with someone, and sometimes, so fam, someone will pour into you, right? They would just start giving you wisdom. You'll be like, you start right now. You'll be like, I don't know why you telling me this, but I'm gonna take this down. I'm gonna just write it down, and then I'm gonna go to God with it and see what it is that I can use with this. Okay? And sometimes it's vice versa. Sometimes you'll meet someone and y'all start hitting it off. It'll be an instant connection, and you'll start speaking and speaking and speaking and speaking into that person, solving all their problems in a matter of minutes. And because you guys don't know each other, it allows that vulnerability to be more potent, right? Because you don't know this person. So you're like, they don't know nobody I know. They can't run back and tell Sally and Mally, and you don't have those fears that this person can and potentially, who knows what goes around in our head when we ain't healed. We just be thinking of the worst thing ever. But when you speak to a stranger, so fam, it's like you could get the best out of each other in those conversations, because you don't have these background stories with one another. All you have is what you can create later on. And most importantly, or you can just leave and take those lessons. Okay? So when you're moving at God's speed, there's always things God wants you to do before you reach that next destination. Right? You're like, Glory, I'm ready to speak in a room of 50 people. Right? I'm ready to be booked and speak in a room full of 50 people. Right? You go to God, you say that, right? God goes, oh, okay, cool. Before you go speak to 50 people, let me see you speak to one stranger. Oh, you did it once? Okay, let me see you do it again. Okay, you did it again. Let me see you do it one more time, because I want to see what you do after that. I want to see what you do immediately after the conversation. I want to see your thoughts. Right? This is God. I want to see your thoughts. Then I want to see how you grow in the matter of weeks with that conversation. What did you learn from that? Okay? And so as God is analyzing you, right? And seeing how you're thinking, seeing how you're comprehending, and seeing how you let things go that's not for you, right? Because if someone talks to you, they could throw in a little nugget that's just a little sidebar. And God is like, let me see if they have the discernment to catch that. Or let me see if they'll start picking themselves apart. Right? So while you're waiting, God is waiting for you. Okay? God is waiting for you to start doing things that are necessary for these next blessings. And that's not an instantaneous thing, right? Because things take time to go in the par, right? Sometimes things gotta really drop down into your spirit, right? Not drop down and get your ego on, no. Drop down into your spirit. And it takes time for that to become your natural, right? Your natural reaction, right? Because when you're healed, when you're unhealed, your natural reaction can be a little hard to see because it's like, okay, well, with this. But as you're healing and you're becoming more aware of yourself, your natural reaction is just like love, 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 and not forced. Because when you're growing so fast, you're going to have to force it a couple times. Like, okay, let me just smile and not let it get to me. Because I know if I let it get to me too deep, I'm going to be not too far off my path. Right? So as you're waiting and God has you waiting and God is moving at God's speed, these are things that you need to do. Right? Communicating your concerns when something isn't correct. Right? When someone keeps coming at you in a way, are you speaking up for yourself right away? When people are bumping you, when people are cutting you off, when people are doing, just our normal day-to-day activity, how are you responding in that process? Now, so fam, when you're moving at God's speed and you start doing it God's way, you take a minute and you take yourself out of the lens and you start looking into God's lens, right? So the normal way you will solve a problem probably hasn't been working that well. The results aren't as desirable as you would like, right? So you say, you know what? Let me just try something else. Let me just take a pause. Let me put on God's lens and see how God may solve this situation. Let me look at it from another angle. And this takes time and this takes practice. It takes time and it takes practice, so fam, because we're often stuck in our ways and we don't know it. And when you're stuck in your ways, you become stuck in your way, okay? And when you're stuck in your way, you see my fist? You're closed off. You're closed off. So everything is kind of you're not really getting through anything, right? Because you're closed off. You can't even receive. You can't even receive. You want love, you can't even receive it. You want customers, you can't even receive it. You want to connect with a family member, you can't receive what they're trying to convey to you. But when you take a minute and you open up and you release whatever that is keeping you closed off, you release it, then you can receive an answer, a value. Right? Now you're sitting there like, wait, God threw you a little nugget. You like this. You like, you be like, you know what? That make more sense. That's simple. That's simple. Now that I let my pride go, now that I let all my fears of what I think they may say go. Let me say that again. Let go of my fears of what I think they may say or think about me. The biggest fear of all times. We're not connecting with people because we think they may not like our ideas. We're not connecting with people because we think they might reject us. We're not reaching out to family members because we think they despise us. We think they're upset. We worried that we may not satisfy them enough. When you go to God, God is going to give you more than enough to satisfy their needs. And for them to satisfy your needs. And you start to look at what's more valuable. Is a relationship with this person more valuable for each of us, give and take? And when your pride is blocking you off and holding you hostage and holding you back and holding you down, you can only see above so much. Your blessings are up here and your pride is here and you're here. So you can never really get the viewpoint that's needed because you have things blocking you off in your spirit. And more importantly, in your soul. God's speed, God's view, God's way. God paved out the way already. It's not going to hurt you. Sometimes we think, oh, God want to control me. God want to control me. God. When you really understand God's love, so fam, and the way God see you is like his precious gift. You know, like, wow, I created this beautiful soul. And in order for this beautiful soul to grow and to be strong, there are just certain things that they have to do and understand. And if they don't do these things or understand these things, their growth will be hindered. So God is never trying to control you. If anything, protect you. Because when we rushing and we just doing things our way and we just not understanding why things are set in place, and we fall and we trip and we get into that sunken sand, who gonna get you out? You think God wanna see that? You rolling around in the mud, you just stuck, you just all over the place, you just struggling. And God is like, see, I told you that was sinking sand from before. Booby. Now look at you. Look at you. We'll laugh about it later, but in the meantime, I gotta get you out of here. I gotta get someone to pull you up out of here. I gotta call out the pull out specialist. And now you gotta take time to be pulled out, heal from that, understand that. I mean, time is of the essence. You know, there's no rush, but work smarter and not harder. And so fam, as we are continuing to move in these other seasons, and we're just waiting for things to come in play, don't rush. When it's not working, let it go. Go get a refund. Go get a refund. If it's not working, go get a refund. If you can't get a refund, drop it off at Goodwill. Give it back. Give it away. And what's for you will after you give it back, you say, you know what, God, can you please show me the way that I'm not seeing? It'll happen so fast. You'll be like, you know, so bad. You know when you do something a little silly and you hope that nobody see you. You know, you trip real quick, but then you play it off like you look around like this. you gonna be looking at God like, you know what? You got it. You know, you gonna be like, you got it. It's not like that embarrassing feeling, but it's just like the, you know what? That was easy. That was simple. You know, and you just have that moment of like peace, because all that worrying you were doing in the midst of trying to do it your way, you know, like waiting to see the results, but you can't get past a certain step because you keep getting pushed back 10 more steps. And you go, you know what, let me just, this whole vision that I have real quick, this whole quick little thing I was trying to do, let me just put it down. Let me just put it over there. Let me just get a new piece of paper. You know, let me just start over. But before I start over and start, God, show me a way that I don't see. And then just wait. Go put on some music. Go bake you a cake. Go roller skating. You know, go take a nap. Go to the gym. And wait for that answer. So fam, go book you a session while you're waiting. Let's have a elevated conversation about it. All right. And in order to be a part of the Soul Fam, hey, all you have to do is subscribe to the Soul Fam, subscribe to the channel. More importantly, Soul Fam, apply the knowledge. God speed, God way, God view. God's speed, God's way, God's view. I love you, Soul Fam. I appreciate you. Thank you for always tuning in. And as we descend and we chill, understand that I hope this message, you receive it with love, you receive it with peace, and you understand it in a way better than me. Hey. Thank you so much. Amelia Adair here. I'm so happy for you, and I will see you at the next one. Bye for now.